Welcome to this tutorial video. The goal of this video is to show you the Electronic Remittance Advice, also known as ERAs. An Electronic Remittance Advice is a way of importing receipts captured by the medical aids against debtors or cases into GoodX in a structured way. Please note that the user will need to register for ERAs to be able to use the ERA features. ERAs will need to be set up first before the user is able to utilize the ERA functionality within the GoodX web. In this video, we will start on the ERA management screen. We will now go over the various fields and columns within the ERA management screen. Search filters is to search for medical aid or medical scheme names. Click on the search filters field and type the desired search criteria of the ERA that the user is looking for. The from field is the date from which the user is able to start filtering the results. Click on the from field. Select the desired date on the calendar. The to field is the date to which the user is able to begin filtering the results. Click on the to field. Select the desired date from the calendar. Now, we will go over the various filter checkboxes to enable or disable certain ERA types. New will make all ERAs visible. Deleted will display ERAs that have been removed. Duplicate will display ERAs that have been copied over or reproduced. Imported will display ERAs that have been uploaded from an external source. Posted will display all ERAs that have been saved and submitted. Click on the search button to search for ERAs as per the information entered. The desired search results will now display. The columns displayed on the ERA management screen will now be explained. ID is a unique number to identify the chronological order in which the ERA was created. Funder name is the name of the medical aid. Medical aid batch numbers is a unique number which identifies a medical aid batch. A batch is a group of ERAs that have been processed at the same time. Payment date is the date the payment was made by the medical aid. Import creation date refers to the timestamp which indicates when the ERA was recorded or uploaded for the first time. Status will indicate the current stage in the ERA process, for example, new, imported, or duplicate. Type is how the remittance was submitted. Total number of payments is the number of payments made from the specific medical aid for the practitioner or practice. Total number of matched items is the number of corresponding items which have been found within the batch. Total number of unresolved payments is the number of payments that have not been found within the batch. Progress will show the user how far the ERA is completed in a percentage format. Amount paid is the sum that the medical aid has paid on the specific batch. Click on the first ERA displayed at the top of the list. New buttons appeared at the bottom of the ERA management screen, which we will now go over. Delete selected ERA will remove the chosen ERA from the system. Click on the Delete Selected ERA button. The ERA status will now change from new to deleted. New ERA will create an ERA to be added to the system. Import all new ERA will upload all newly created ERAs. Edit selected ERA will enable the user to update and revise the selected ERA. Re-import the selected ERA will re-upload the selected ERA within the latest information. We will now create a new ERA. Click on the New ERA button. The ERA batch details screen will open. We will now go over the various fields on the ERA batch details screen. Batch ID is a batch identification number. Batch status will indicate the current stage in the ERA batch process, for example, new, imported, or duplicate. Medical aid reference number is a unique identifier linked to the specific medical aid transactions. Click on the medical aid reference number field to complete the field. ERA cash book is the ledger within the practice where the ERAs will be recorded. Deposit date is the date the deposit has been made by the medical aid. Click in the deposit date field to complete the field. A calendar will appear where the user is able to select the desired date. Medical aid name refers to the name of the medical aid that the ERA will be linked to. Click on the medical aid name field to complete the field. Batch import info will display the upload date and time, which is a timestamp of the ERA. Deposit paid amount is the payment sum received by the medical aid for a specific claim. Click on the deposit paid amount field to complete the field. Calculated paid amount refers to the overall sum compensated for by the medical aid, including any costs that were not covered. Amount assigned to the providers is the total claim application amount that was applied for the medical aid. Amount assigned to unlinked is the total amount on the ERA that was not linked to a debtor or patient. Total amount assigned is the total sum on the ERA that is linked to a debtor or patient. Amount difference is the sum difference between the amounts of the allocated and unallocated amounts of the ERA. We will now take a look at the filter by checkboxes. Unresolved payments will filter the ERAs by payments that have not been finalized and resolved yet. Short payments will filter to display ERAs that have outstanding amounts. Has unlinked amount will filter to display the ERAs that have amounts that has not been linked to a debtor or patient. Click on the Save Current ERA button to save the completed information. The Add New Payment button will appear. Click on the Add New Payment button to add the payment as well as the debtor or patient to the ERA. A different batch detail screen will open. The ERA info section will display the previously completed information. We will now take a look at the payment info section. Payment ID will display the payment identification number. Debtor number will display the account number of the debtor that the ERA is being linked to. Click on the Find a Debtor field to search for a debtor for who the payment is. Only one character is required for the debtor list to appear. Select the desired debtor from the list. File number will display the number of the file associated with the debtor. Medical aid outstanding will display the unpaid balance from the medical aid. ERA paid amount represents the total sum that the medical aid has remitted to the patient. Resolved will display whether the ERA has been finalized and resolved. Debtor name will display the name of the debtor or patient that the ERA is linked to. Medical aid number is the medical aid account number of the debtor or patient. Patient outstanding is the total outstanding amount for which the debtor is liable. ERA claimed amount is a claim sum that was sent to the medical aid. Unlinked amount is a total amount that is not linked to a debtor. Next, we will go over the matched items section. Click on the Select Another Invoice to Show drop-down menu to select another invoice to display if available. The Show Invoice button will become available when an invoice is selected from the Select Another Invoice to Show drop-down menu. Click on the Show Invoice button. The Show Settled Invoices checkbox will filter the ERA list to display only invoices that has been resolved and settled. We will now go over the various buttons that have appeared upon selecting the invoice from the drop-down menu. Match All will coordinate all the unlinked invoices. Unmatch All will unlink the matched ones. Switch Details will display all the relevant details relating to the switching of the invoice. Clear Allocation will unallocate the funds which have already been allocated. Auto Allocate will assign the correct amounts to the relevant fields. Shift All will move the remaining funds that the medical aid will not pay over to the debtor or patient. Write Off All will automatically create a small balance write-off for the amount difference for either the medical aid and or the patient. Discount All allows the user to choose a percentage or reduction amount that can be applied to both the medical aid and the patient, resulting in a deduction from the total amount. Click on the Add drop-down menu to send an SMS or email, or to create a task item or note. Click on the Unmatched button to change the invoice status to Matched. Next, we will take a look at the columns displayed on the ERA batch details screen. Item ID is a transaction identification number to which the ERA is linked. Status will indicate the current stage in the ERA process, for example, matched or unlinked. Invoice date is the day the invoice was issued to the debtor or patient. Tariff code is the material, procedure, and medicine code used in the invoice. Description is a name or explanation that describes the code of the medicine, material, or procedure code. Medical aid invoice indicated the total amount invoiced to the medical aid company. Medical aid outstanding will display the unpaid amount from the medical aid company. Allocated amount will display the amount assigned to the medical aid. Write-off medical aid will display small balance write-offs for the amount difference for the medical aid. Write-off patient will display a small balance write-off for the amount difference for the patient. Discount medical aid will display any reduced amounts to the medical aid company. Discount patient will display any reduced amounts to the patient. Shift medical aid will display the amount the medical aid will not pay for, and so the patient will be liable for the amount. Shift patient will display the amount the patient will not pay for, and so the medical aid will be liable for the amount. Message will display any additional information regarding the invoice on the system. Click on the Close button to return to the ERA batch detail screen without saving. Click on the Mark Resolve button to resolve the ERA. Click on the Save button to save the changes made and return to the ERA management screen. Click on the Close button to return to the ERA management screen without saving. Click on Print to download the ERA, which has been created as a PDF. Click on the downloaded file. The print screen will open. The user is able to click on the Print button and select the appropriate settings to print the created ERA. Click on the CSV button to download the created ERA in a CSV format. Click on the Save Current ERA button to save the created ERA. Click on the Post Current ERA button to finalize and post the created ERA.